Hey, fancy meeting you here in this little old place. I'm Tish, and this is Echo Echo. I did a video before and forgot my sign-in thing. It was only when I was saying it now that I do say that part. So, the Dragula video is going to be a bit disjointed at the beginning. So that's why we've got the look here of makeup once upon a time being here. It was okay, except my costume. So it was like it's shapewear, but it was the only sort of bodysuit I had. So I had painted it with acrylic paint, and it didn't stretch anymore. So I went to put it on just before we were filming tonight, and it didn't go on. So I started like desperately painting myself silver. Got silver paint all over my arms and torso. And then I ended up like, I have a whole heap of this silver material. Ended up like putting it, stuffing it into my bra and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're here. Now, I actually watched this video last night, after my live stream, I think. And, but I fell asleep. I fell asleep. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I can rescue it, but I looked at halfway through and I'm like, no, I'm fully like. So one day, if I ever have a Patreon, guess what we're gonna get? We're gonna get some sleepy videos, okay? Anyway, nearly hitting 300. Oh my god! Shut up! I mean, don't shut up. Be yelling it everywhere. And I just I was looking at. I won't say her name because it might summon her. But one of the big haters of the anti-MLM movement. She needs some new batteries for her fire alarm. I think that she thinks, oh, ha 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 ha, it's a joke, but it's like, you have kids. Do you want a fire alarm that's going off? Anyway, she's done her little videos. Oh, she's just so funny, and she's got one viewer. We all know who she is, who just like puts 1,000 messages on there. It's cute. Good work, guys. I don't think there would even be, I think even Boss Lee and Dominic Izzo are more open than those two ladies. I think that they would say that we're not all the same. I think they would recognize that we are not in an echo chamber. The other two ladies, though, it's their own narrative, and it's ridiculous. They're up, like I am agnostic. The very Christian people who are, a part of this community, no, I do not agree with some of their beliefs. Sorry, I just don't think that religion should play that part in our lives. Okay. Yeah. So look, it's not all the same. There's creators that I don't like their work. It's not an echo chamber, and I think you'll find that anyone who claims it is an echo chamber, they've got their own gang of echo chamber. Anyway, we are back with Awakend and Zenith, and this is their scientific science. Bit of science over here. All right. It'll be the same with Fire Alarm Girl. I'll see how fast it is, but Fire Alarm Girl, well, oh, bless her. What could she say that hurt my feelings? Oh, look at you. Doesn't one pat her on the head and say, good job, little girl? She's, for somebody who constantly says, why are these people so obsessed with them? Why are you so obsessed with her? Hello, pot kettle. Have we met? Yeah. You hashtag CC Suarez in every single video. Anyway, well, let's watch this thing. This starts out pretty interesting, actually.
I got it.
That's Danielle. I'm eating dinner, by the way.
Okay, Jay, it's all you.
Okay, great. Can you guys see me? Am I okay?
Looking good.
All right, sounds good, guys. Well, listen, I appreciate you guys being very patient. My name is Jay Forston. I'm the master distributor here with Awakend, and I want to introduce two lovely persons here today on our call. And I know everybody's been chomping at the bit to get on and get the information.
Speak up, please.
Can you guys hear me?
You're going to have to speak a little louder.
Oh,
That was so rude. Like, seriously, just speak up, please. And he's perfectly fine. What the fuck? Also, I haven't heard of this master distributor. They've got this category of distributors, the master ones, and that they're the top of the pyramid. Like, they are actually, all the downlines form from them. So it's interesting.
okay. All right. I'm sorry. We've got 700 people on here, so I'm sorry if it's not coming through.
What does that have to do with your sound quality? Like, I'm on his side here. Like, don't be rude. Put your hand up. It's a Zoom meeting. And, but 700 people on the call doesn't really mean the sound would be any different, you know?
You guys are
over here.
okay, great.
I can hear you
Awesome.
fine.
Guys, we're going to need you all to mute out, please, for the
Yeah,
background
you guys
noise.
wanna
Please mute out. Please don't anyone unmute.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. Danielle, if you run the call, you can mute everybody, okay? So let's just get that. Like, I'm not really proficient at Zoom, but even I know that. Jesus.
Thank you, Danielle. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really here to get to know Zenith. You know, I've been here about a week now, and we just launched. So I just want to introduce you to two of our health experts and jump right into it. Their names are Lorna and Jim. So Lorna is a women's health expert who's been researching and educating on nutritional medicine for over 35 years. She has a master's in nutrition and a second degree in biochemistry. Her passion and commitment to the integrity of evidence-based nutrition inspired her 13 books on topics from hormones and weight loss, inflammatory diseases, to beautiful skin and much more. Jim is a consultant in the dietary supplement industry, assisting companies, A-list celebrities, and well-known MDs in all aspects of product development, including product formulation, scientific validation, and claim substantiation. Prior to becoming a consultant for over 16 years, Jim headed up new product development for the world's largest dietary supplement brand, which achieved sales of $5 billion annually. And prior to that, headed up product development for a few of the leading companies in the dietary supplement industry, including 12 fast growth companies in the U.S., as well as the fastest growing network marketing history in U.S. history. Jim is a patent holder as well as published.
Do you want to tell us what the brands are? Because that'd be interesting, and it's relevant if he is so celebrated.
In both scientific journals, along with having taught nutrition at the university level, where he quickly became the #1 teacher at that university. Jim also has helped bring.
How do you become the #1 teacher at that university? How's that decided? Is there an Instagram poll? Like, they have to vote, Google form? Like, that's not really a thing that happens in university, you know, like people are celebrated and they get their masters and their PhD and doctorates and etc., but they're #1 teacher. And also, what are these people's last names? Because if you're going to spruik about them, can we know that too?
One of the more popular nootropics to the dietary supplement industry, as well as helping one of his clients with the prestigious Nutra Award for Best New Ingredient in the industry. Jim's primary focus is discovering the most clinically effective ingredients, products, and technologies available and assisting his clients in bringing them to the marketplace. Lorna, I'll let you take it from there.
Well, thank you very much. We're incredibly excited to talk about Zenith today, both Jim and I. So I'll go through the presentation. It won't take that long. We've got about 15 slides.
The other thing too, I'm not aware of whether these people are distributors or not. And that's important because if they are distributors, master or otherwise, then they've got a motive for how they present the science. So, some transparency wouldn't go astray here because that was just a verbal introduction. You've gone far enough to produce this wonderful PowerPoint. Where's their name? Where's the accolades? Where's some pictures of them getting their awards, I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying that if usually when network marketing companies have something that is recognized in the wider community as being, celebrated, for example, when they're publicly traded or when they don't have debt, they always talk about that. We're a publicly traded company, which means we're above board. It's not true, but do you know what I mean? Like, when they have a chance to prove something, they usually do. So it's like, where is this? Where is some proof here?
Jim might step in occasionally, and then we're going to leave lots of time to answer all of the questions that we have. So Zenith is really the most clinically effective weight loss product that's currently on the market. And I'd probably say after you've looked at all of this research and evidence that you think is probably the only clinically effective weight loss product.
Let's think about that, okay? So she just said that Zenith, I pronounce it Zenith for some reason. Zenith is the most clinically proven? Is that what she said? Because it's pretty outrageous what she just said.
All of this research and evidence that you think is probably
From there.
Well, thank you very much. We're incredibly excited to talk about Zenith today, both Jim and I. So I'll go through the presentation. It won't take that long. We've got about 15 slides. Jim might step in occasionally, and then we're going to leave lots of time to answer all of the questions that we have. So Zenith is really the most clinically effective weight loss product that's currently on the market. And I'd probably say after you've looked at all of this research and evidence that you think is probably the only clinically effective weight loss product. So Zenith.
Sorry, I'm writing it down. So Zenith is most clinically effective weight loss method. Oh, God damn it! I just need one. Just like, okay.
All of this research and evidence that you think is probably the only clinically effective weight loss product.
Okay. That's like saying, do you know what? I think that it's over. America is the absolute greatest nation in the world. Similar. Like, how could you say that? It's the most clinically effective weight loss product. Big call, especially given the research that they are basing this on. A clinical study with 22 women, which was in conjunction with diet and exercise, and only ran for 8 weeks, 14 years ago. So it's a big call. And also, like I've said before, this is a makeup wipe. I am on a medication at the moment. It's called Ozempic, which is a weight loss drug product. Okay? and it has been clinically assessed, which is why it's used by weight loss clinics. And I have to see a prescribing nurse, and I have to have meetings with her and, well, appointments. So it's such a bold statement to just run out of the gate with. And it's a little bit like too much. Okay, that's what you're going to lead with. And like I said, if she is a distributor, then she's got a motive for making this research true.
So Zenith contains 2 ingredients, HPMCs, which are 3 highly viscous non-fermentable fibers. And these 3 very specific fibers, I'm going to talk about their research shortly, as well as a combination of a proprietary mixture of 6 cetylated fatty acids. So these are very potent anti-inflammatory fatty acids. Now we're going to talk about the patents and the rationale behind Zenith. So the patents that have been granted, there's a US patent that's been granted with the great claim of methods to reduce body fat, as well as the method for increasing serum adiponectin for the treatment and reduction of the risk of cardiovascular, vascular, and related diseases. The patent shows a reduction in body fat and serum leptin using highly viscous polysaccharides. That's these highly viscous HPMCs. And the second ingredient, which is the esterified fatty acid combo, contains 6 very unique fatty acids combined, and their effectiveness is in regards to treating low-grade chronic inflammation in association with obesity. So
Okay, but you didn't explain how those work. That's just an overview of the ingredients. Maybe she'll say it later, but how does it affect anything? And if you've got the patents, right, why is it a proprietary blend? Why won't you make it just known what is what? Because when you're hiding something in the proprietary blend, right? Because if you're not, and you're saying, we're not going to let the secret out, no one can have our product. It's patented. If somebody does try to take your product, you have a legal case against them.
let's look at the research. And this particular research study, it's very unique in the fact that it was actually conducted in the US. A lot of the research studies that we see in the nutraceutical industry are performed in other countries, particularly India or Japan. And it's nice when we can actually have a clinical trial that was performed on Americans and North Americans. And the unique part of this study as well is that it was so well controlled. Everything right down to the fact that the participants had to attend the actual human performance laboratory to have all of their measurements done. They performed that laboratory, they attended that laboratory to also perform the exercises that were associated with this program. And all of this increases the validity of the clinical trial results. The other thing that's very exciting about this study that I think is really important is that they use DEXA scan to confirm the fat loss. And most women know DEXA scans in regards to using them for determining if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, but it really is a gold standard in regards to determining body composition.
Okay, so great. She knows big words. But the fact that it was in America, it doesn't mean shit. Like, obviously, they are different people, but we're all human bodies, like it doesn't mean anything. And in fact, a study in America is not as stringent as overseas. You look at the FDA standards and the like what's actually hidden in proprietary blends in supplements and things like that. They can still go on sale, but they're just not FDA approved. It's the reason why things like when companies come to Australia from America, especially in network marketing, they're more stringent, and that's why some businesses can only sell certain things because we have stricter rules. And great, the people in the test, they came to the lab to do everything. I mean, isn't that the bare minimum when you sign up to be in a study? Like, of course that's how it's going to run. It's not like, yay, oh my God, like, this is amazing. No, that's what they're supposed to be doing. And, how they've found it was fat loss, great. Good on you. I still don't think that your 8-week study on 22 people is enough to pin the hopes of this whole company.
And so this is quite exciting. And Dr. William Kramer at the Human Performance Laboratory at the University of Connecticut oversaw this particular clinical trial. So there were 22 women in the study. Their average age was around 37 years, plus or minus 7 years or so. It was a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial. It was 8 weeks long. The women were randomized 11 to placebo, 11 to the treatment group. Of course, the great thing about this study for the women who are on the call today is that this study was done in women. And, often we don't get enough research that is dedicated to women. And as we know, women have a harder time losing weight. The study intervention was designed that they were eating about 1,500 calories a day, which was about a 500 calorie deficit. And they also had 30 to 60 minutes of exercise 4 to 5 times a week. So this was important because we know that diet and exercise works for weight loss. Then we add in the Zenith supplement in regards to the dosage. It's 1,200 milligrams were given with the 2 largest meals per day for a total dose of 2,400 milligrams per day, along with the placebo group. This study was published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology.
In what year? Do you want to say what year it was? Because it was 14 years ago. Yeah, pat yourself on the back that you did all this research for the women. Woo, feminism! Yeah, we're finally being seen. No, look. Oh, that's spaghetti sauce. 22 women in their 30s for 8 weeks. Okay, so that is not enough. Well, what about men? You're right. Men and women do shift weight differently. So you haven't done a study group with the men. Why do you have to get this product out now? You only have to listen to Danielle and Ashley Headley, whatever her name was, saying, oh my God, we just, they've just give themselves away, as in, we didn't even know this was happening last week, and blah, 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 blah. And, you just have to look at the nervous energy of friggin' Jodie and her half a husband in the window there. Like, they were rushing. They were sprinting to get this out. Why? I don't know. Maybe, I know patents expire, right? Maybe whoever had the patent originally, it was about to expire if they didn't do something with it. So, or maybe the patent was expired and they was moving on to the next person. I know I've got a subscriber who is looking at all of that because, as I said, you give yourself away with what you say. And we say, we can see that there's something underneath it. So, especially when we're looking at everything you do and connecting the dots, I don't think everyone is doing that. So they lose their critical thinking skills when they see the money, money, money. Yeah. So, yes, this study that they are referring to had some promising results. Okay. But what it should have led to is a further study with a wider group of people for a longer period of time, men and women and different age groups, because most people will know that a woman in menopause is going to have more trouble shifting weight than not. And, even our metabolism changes as we get older. So why not take the time to do extra research and development? Why are we here?
Let's look at what actually happened in the study over the 8-week period. So the effects of weight loss using Zenith in the placebo group, they lost 9.2 pounds of weight loss. In the treatment group taking the Zenith lost 20.2 pounds of weight loss over the 8-week period, which is more than double the weight loss that was experienced in the group that did not take the Zenith. The effects of Zenith on weight loss and fat loss. The Zenith group had an initial 10.5% drop in body weight, as well as a 25.6% initial body fat drop. That's dramatic compared to the placebo group that was far less, almost less than 50% less than the other group. The effects of Zenith on weight loss and fat loss per month. The group that in the first month, the weight loss in the Zenith group was 6.2 pounds and the fat loss was 9.2 pounds. In the second month, 14.1 pounds of weight loss and 12.1 pounds of fat loss. The overall fat loss was 21.3 pounds over the 8 weeks. I think that
we know that's in another one, but the placebo group is losing weight at a healthy rate. The not placebo group, the Zenith group, they're losing weight too quickly. That's hard. That's not. Once you stop, you're either going to be withering away to nothing because you continue to take the drug, or you stop because you need to be a human and eat food to make your body fuel, and you're just going to put the weight back on. It just does not seem like it's going to be sustainable. And that's the problem with only having an 8-week study.
I want to talk about the fact that the weight loss continued, the fat loss continued, and the weight loss was larger in the second month than the first month. This is a synopsis or a summary of what actually occurred in the study. So the total weight loss was 20.2 pounds versus 9.2 pounds in the placebo group. That was an extra 11 pounds over the 8-week period, which is dramatic. And I think all of us will be very excited when we lose that 20.2 pounds per week. The group that
you said that before, you've said it. You've said how much the weight loss was and the fat loss. Like literally, that's the graphs we were looking at before. I gotta pause it for a minute. Get my jelly out the freezer. This is boring as shit. I hate this.
was using the Zenith lost 2.5 pounds, which was an extra 1.3 pounds compared to the placebo group. In regards to the fat loss over the study period, there was a total of 21.3 pounds versus 10.8 pounds in the placebo group, which is again an extra 10.5 pounds of fat. And per week, the participants in the Zenith group lost 2.7 pounds, which was an extra 1.3 pounds compared to the placebo group. So although we know that diet and exercise works to lose weight, this gave such a dramatic increase in weight loss and fat loss in the Zenith group. The waist reduction, and as I said
if you just kept up the diet and exercise, you'd be able to maintain that weight once you've reached it. This just, it seems unnecessary unless you just you want to lose 20 pounds to fit into your wedding dress in 2 weeks or whatever, which is dumb.
Participants were measured, and the waist measurement reduction was 3.9 inches versus 2 inches in the placebo group. The hip and thigh measurement, the drop was 2.9 inches in thighs and 2.9 inches in the hips and 1.2 inches in the thighs. And we're going to talk about the hormones that are changed. And serum adiponectin increased by 116%, and serum leptin dropped by 43%. And I'm going to talk about why that is so significant and what makes this product so unique. So let's talk a little bit about leptin, what leptin does in the body, and what leptin resistance is, so we can really understand how important this is in regards to how Zenith works in the body. So leptin is a key hormone that makes you feel full or satisfied, and it's made by your fat cells. Overweight and obese people, and women especially, have much higher levels of leptin. But what happens is the body becomes insensitive to that leptin. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about leptin resistance, similar to insulin resistance that you may have heard about in metabolic syndrome or prediabetes. So leptin resistance is a hormonal defect. It's now believed to be one of the main biological contributors to obesity. And when your brain doesn't receive the leptin signal, it wrongly thinks that your body is starving, even though it has more than enough energy. We call energy basically stored fat. I think somebody's went off mute, actually.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to mute out everyone. I'm going to mute everyone. Hold on, please.
Well, and you don't feel.
Why weren't they muted before, Danielle? Okay. Also, like, I was gonna say, this is their science, right? This is what the distributors are watching to be able to tell other people about the science. So they're going to be, repeating this verbatim. And I just don't think it's enough. It's not in depth enough to really know what they're talking about. I think that it's dangerous for non-medical people to be having a hand in this. It's a lot. Paying $1,500 for a kit doesn't mean you're an expert on weight loss. It's just so concerning.
Okay, Lorna, I'm going to unmute you, and I'm going to have everyone else will stay muted. Lorna, hold on. Okay, and also, Dr. Jim, you should get a request to unmute. Lorna, you should be seeing a request to unmute.
There we go.
Thank you.
I think I'm unmuted now. Thank you very much. That probably makes things a little bit simpler. I'll go back and tell you a little bit about leptin resistance. So when your brain doesn't receive the leptin signal, it wrongly thinks that your body's starving. And even though it has more than enough energy stored for future use, meaning more fat stored for future use by the body, this makes a change in your brain. And the brain actually changes its behavior in order to regain body fat. And your brain then encourages you to eat more and reduce energy consumption so you don't burn calories effectively. For most people who struggle with leptin resistance, willing yourself, so this is when you tell yourself, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to eat. Willing yourself to overcome the leptin-driven starvation signal is next to impossible. And anybody who has this constant urge to eat knows that willing it away doesn't work. And someone sent in a question asking why we would keep taking Zenith or why we would keep taking Zenith after we have lost the weight we want, and should we continue to take Zenith? And the answer is a resounding yes. And the reason why is because if your brain has been dealing with leptin resistance for a while, it will constantly go back to the state of telling you that you're hungry and you should eat. And this is why people gain all the weight back after they've dieted, after they've lost that weight, and even more after dieting. So Zenith can keep that leptin signal working properly long term. And I know on your website.
How? Hey. Hey. Cut it out. Go back to sleep. How? Can you please explain that? Because it doesn't make sense for what you're saying. All right?
I've got a simplified version of, when you eat, leptin goes up, the more fat and the bigger your fat cells are, the higher your leptin goes. And long term, this causes leptin resistance. So even though your leptin levels might be coming down because you've lost weight, you don't get the message from your brain. And when that happens, you have constant overeating. And another big thing happens is that your thyroid function becomes impaired. So leptin resistance is directly linked to impaired thyroid function, which leads to weight gain, decreased metabolism, and elevated leptin or leptin resistance literally disrupts those thyroid hormones. And for the women on the call, this is truly a big problem because we have an epidemic of low thyroid. What happens when your leptin is elevated long-term is that it stimulates thyroid releasing hormone to increase TSH. TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone. And when your thyroid stimulating hormone levels go up, this is what leads to low thyroid. And if you've ever had a thyroid test, they'll look at your TSH. And when the number is high, this is when you get diagnosed with low thyroid. We already know that low thyroid leads to further weight gain. Another thing that happens when your leptin levels are elevated or you have leptin resistance is it suppresses the conversion of your T4 thyroid hormone, which is an inactive form of thyroid hormone, to the more potent or more active T3. So the connection between leptin and thyroid is really a big contributing factor, especially for women in weight loss.
This to me seems like it is way beyond an MLM distributor giving out this information and the product. Like, you're just putting it in the hands of people who are, Jim and Cheryl from down the way, and they, heard about this thing, and I can get rid of my bingo wings. Like, it's just, I think that it's just so problematic. I can't even think of words, but
we're going to talk about adiponectin now. So Zenith has a wonderful effect on adiponectin. Oh, and before I go forward, I just want to say that what Zenith does is it lowers your leptin levels naturally and starts to retrain your brain so that it can understand the leptin signal. So that's the connection with Zenith, and it has a profound effect, and this is what was shown in the clinical trial.
that's what I was asking before. Like, so how does it work? But you just said it has an effect. How? And how from those ingredients that aren't even, there's no connection. It doesn't feel like there's connection to the leptin. And if there is, you're not explaining it well.
So let's talk about adiponectin, which is another key hormone made by our fat cells. Obese people have much lower levels of adiponectin, and adiponectin has great results in increasing fat burning. It increases insulin sensitivity. We don't want our insulin levels to build up in the blood. This is when we start to develop insulin resistance and, of course, prediabetes and diabetes. Adiponectin is also involved in increasing circulation in the body. It decreases inflammation, and it also decreases the production of sugar. And a lot of people today are on keto diets. And one of the things that adiponectin does is it decreases the production of sugar that is made from ketone bodies. So most people don't realize that when they go on keto diets, they're creating a lot of ketone bodies, which can be converted into sugars in the body. One of the interesting things that happened in this study is that Zenith more than doubled adiponectin levels. And you want to have good high levels of adiponectin to have appropriate weight management. So let's just do an overview on the takeaways. So we know that dieting and exercise do work. We know that Zenith doubles the effects of diet and exercise. It doubles weight loss.
Only in this situation.
Was an extra 11 pounds of weight loss over the 8 weeks. So 20.2 pounds versus 9.2 pounds, as well an extra 1.3 pounds of weight loss per week.
Yeah, lots of scientific studies have 3 exclamation points in it.
So we had 2.7 pounds, which is quite dramatic. It doubles fat loss, an extra 10.5 pounds of fat loss. So that was 21.3 pounds of fat loss versus 10.8 pounds in the placebo group, and an extra 1.3 pounds of fat loss per week. Zenith also doubles the loss in waist circumference, so 3.9 inches in the waist versus 2 inches, and 100% of the weight loss was due to fat loss. So 21.
You have repeated these same things twice already, and now a third time.
0.3 pounds of fat loss versus 20.2 pounds of weight loss. And we really want to lose this fat. Fat has its own hormone factory going on in it as well. Overall, Zenith doubles the effects of dieting and exercise, and all of the above benefits are a result of ingesting just 2 capsules of Zenith twice a day before 2 main meals. So let's look at the caloric intake.
2 capsules twice a day. Man, those people are going to be going through their pills.
Because both groups basically had a non-significant difference in their caloric intake, so the placebo group and the Zenith group. There's also supporting animal data. There are 5 studies, one showing that Zenith is a prebiotic that beneficially alters gut microbiome, that the HPMC is a prebiotic beneficially altering gut microbiome. We see a decrease in intestinal permeability, which is leaky gut. There was an increase in bile acids and cholesterol excretion. And one of the things that was found is that it could lower cholesterol levels. There's also an increase in AMPK, which is a key anti-aging molecule. And Jim and I have talked about the fact that it's not unlike the way that metformin works in increasing AMPK without the side effects, of course. And it increases mitochondrial biogenesis, which is associated with anti-aging. So these are just some of the other animal data that is present, and hopefully in the future we'll continue to do more research and look at some of these areas of interesting health benefits.
That's what you should have been doing now, instead of trying to release the product so quickly. Yeah. Oh, they've got patents.
So in regards to product development, there are 2 US patents. The products are GRAS, so they're generally recognized as safe. They're both ingredients are incredibly safe. The ingredients have great regulatory benefits. They're both acceptable and currently sold in the US as well as Canada. And so I'm going to open the floor for questions. And I know that I was sent a list of questions by the team, and I'm not sure if you want to deal with questions openly or if you'd like me to go through the questions that were answered.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
let them.
Open up the floor.
Yeah,
Don't
we'd
let
like
them
you to go
talk.
through the questions that were emailed in, please.
Okay. And Jim, you can add anything, and probably a good time for Jim to make some comments about the presentation as well. Jim has been involved with the product for a very long time, and so he has incredible amount of experience with it.
Great job, Lorna.
Did you want to add to the presentation?
No, I think you did a great job.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go through the questions that were given.
But hang on. Why didn't we hear more from the #1 teacher at his university? That was so funny. Like, here's Jim and Lorna, and I'm going to talk about them for about 20 minutes, and then it's Jim's turn to talk, and he's like, "No, I'm good." Are you trying to back away slowly? Because you should be, if you want to be respected as a professional in your field. You better get the fuck away from this company.
So physically, is this product for everyone? And if not, who is it not for? So I think that the only people who wouldn't take this product would be people on feeding tubes. It's incredibly safe. Both ingredients are incredibly safe. Why would you want to be on this long term? And I think that the answer to that was in my response about leptin resistance. And I think that if you've been trying to lose weight and you've been on yo-yo diets, or you've spent years, trying to lose weight, you lost weight, you gained it all back. You tried to lose weight, you lost weight, you gained it all back. That yo-yo dieting syndrome, or long-term weight gain, or simply being a woman, because we happen to have elevated leptin levels in general. I think if you want to maintain body composition, balance your leptin and adiponectin, and have a healthy non-fermentable fiber means no gas, then you definitely want to take this product long-term. Curbing appetite. Someone said curbing appetite doesn't make people not want to eat at all. Obviously, our bodies need fuel to survive. So how would you eat and fuel properly with a curbed appetite? I can tell you, you're still going to want to eat, and you're still going to have a desire to eat. So I don't think we have to worry about curbing appetite. The beauty of this is that you're going to maintain healthy body weight and have healthy weight management and balance your leptin and adiponectin so that you can actually eat the foods that you'd like to eat long term. How many folks were in the double-blind placebo-controlled study? That was 22. 11 were in the treatment group. 11 were randomized to the placebo group.
Just 22 total. 14 years ago, 22. And only 12 of those people, 11 of those people, took the drug.
There were no males in the study. Someone asked if it was randomized males versus females, and this study was done in women. The average age of the participants was 37, plus or minus 7 years. How does it work for women in menopause? And this is a great question. This product is excellent for women who are in perimenopause and menopause. We do know that when women enter perimenopause and menopause, they tend to have weight gain and what we call stubborn weight loss. So that's when we start to turn into an apple and get a lot more belly fat. So for women in this age category, especially with the connection between leptin and thyroid, and we know that women, as they age, tend to be more susceptible to developing low thyroid, which lowers metabolism and increases weight gain.
Yeah, but this connection is one that you have on this PowerPoint, but there's no source.
So I think it's a perfect product for all women, definitely women who are in perimenopause and menopause.
Oh, maybe the article is the source in this instance, so I might be just being a little bitch to them.
Next question was, what are the side effects? There weren't any. And I think the reason for this is that this is a non-fermenting insoluble fiber, which means that you just don't develop the gas and bloating. And, I think with any great program that you're on for weight loss, you want to drink lots of water, stay well hydrated on top of it all. What is the exact list of ingredients? Well, the good news is there are no excipients in this product. It's simply 3 highly viscous HPMC, as well as the 6 cetylated fatty acids. And so you don't get a whole bunch of other ingredients in here.
This is so boring, I hate it. Well, and I know that people are going to be misquoting this and whatever, but I'm tired.
Somebody asked if the product is different from other leptin resident products. And I wasn't really sure what a resident leptin product was, but I did look up the research around a couple of products. One is Leptitox and the other is Leptopril. And neither of these have clinical research, and their ingredients are rather interesting. The Leptitox is a combination of oats, alfalfa, psyllium, rhubarb, cascara, and buckthorn. And again, no research showing any direct effect to leptin. Leptopril was a green coffee bean, some amino acids, rhodiola, caffeine, and again, no clinical data showing a reduction in leptin that I could find.
We wouldn't see that. Really what it is normalizing, as Lorna so well explained, it's really normalizing those elevated levels of leptin that kind of keep us wanting to eat more when we don't really need to. And so,
Yeah, we get it, dickhead. The #1 teacher at your university. Like, thanks for chiming in, Daffy Duck.
when that then becomes much more normalized and more effective, that leptin actually producing the effect of satiety, which it's supposed to do normally, it helps normalize our hunger and satiety. So it's not a just, cut and dry appetite suppressant product. It's helping to normalize our appetite and our satiety.
I mean, that's based on the research of 22 people 14 years ago.
There's a question about, is it safe to take if you're allergic to eggs? And the answer is yes, there's no egg or egg protein in the product.
Everyone asking about Canada. We are working on opening up Canada. We have our natural product number in progress, and we will be just discussing that on a separate Zoom.
I live in Vancouver, Canada, so I can't wait till you're ready to go up here.
We're working fast. We're excited.
That does sound like she is either going to take the product or... Holy crap, did we get through all the way through there? I thought that was more.
Let's see, there was a few other questions, and then we're going to probably close it out. People are asking about the patents, how long on the patents. I don't know if you guys have that info or if we need to get that. Another question is about, is it a nanoceutical, bioceutical, nutraceutical?
No nanotechnology is involved in this. It would be described as a nutraceutical, yes.
Perfect.
With respect to the cholesterol, there is cholesterol-lowering data on the HPM seeds itself. They did not look at cholesterol in this particular study. This was very much focused on the weight loss and the fat loss, and also the maintenance of lean body mass.
And we also had, are there any fillers in the product? And the second thing, Lorna, we discussed possibly like a simple eating plan to follow and releasing that maybe in October. Is that still going to be something we do?
Oh, great. Now they're doing food plans. Something that they know nothing about if they've just joined this on a whim, Oh, God.
So first, the answer to the question about fillers, no, there are no fillers. This is the reason why I think in the Q&A I said it's only these ingredients, which is awesome. We didn't have to put a lot of extra excipients in it. And absolutely, yes, I'm going to do an 8-week eating plan that kind of marries with the clinical research so that we're going to see even better results in people.
Oh, so you're going to make them eat less food? So then people are going to be losing weight at even a quicker rate, which is just like so dangerous. Like why can't you lose weight at a normal time? Like even if this drug did that you made you just slow down a bit. Doesn't have to be so quick. But they want the money, you see? That's what it's about. It's about the money.
With respect to the patents, the most recent patent actually was published just a couple years ago. And so that one is live and active for a while.
Perfect. All right. Are they easy to swallow? Big time, very much so. Very easy, but we are coming out with a individual packets, guys, that'll be launched early next year for those who want to take it as a beverage and not
a strip. No, I think this is going to be a
capsule.
powder.
Okay.
Oh, Beth is asking, you said something about metformin earlier. Yes. Lorna, I just want to make sure we get that understood again.
Well, Jim and I were talking about the AMPK action that we see with leptin and the HPMCs, and we were kind of smiling that it had a very similar effect to the drug metformin without the side effects. It hasn't been had clinically researched, so.
Understood.
And I think someone said, should I stop my metformin? And the answer is no. You should stay on your medications that your doctor is.
Anything to do with like existing conditions should be straight away, first thing out of your mouth. You need to consult with your doctor. And you should have said it at every turn. Every turn you can say you need to go and check with your doctor, especially on those ones where you repeated the weight loss enough times. Repeat the information about the doctors too, because there's going to be some people who do not check with their doctors because they're going to assume the best of you in that you've checked with doctors and you haven't. So just be, I was going to say be honest, but they can't be honest, you know. More transparency is needed.
Provided, and you could add this to it.
Excellent. All right, I think we are at the 2:00 hour. Anything else you guys wanted to add at the end, as far as anything important that you think we missed?
I think we covered a lot today, and the questions were excellent. And both Jim and I are very excited to help you grow the Zenith business and educate all of the people that are involved.
We are so grateful for you both. Thank you so much. I will post this later tonight, guys. Forgive my voice. You guys are keeping me busy. I sound like a 90-year-old, but I'm very excited if it doesn't sound like it. I'm so, so, so grateful for all of you that are excited about Zenith and about Awakened. And thank you, Lorna and Dr. Jim, for this amazing informational session. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you.
All the very best.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks for nothing, Jim. Jim didn't do shit. I don't know how he got, voted #1 teacher. #1 at, letting Lorna carry the whole meeting. Yeah, so I'd be interested in seeing, a little bit to see whether they're distributors or not. The MLM business, it's a bit like the flim-flammery of the self-help. And by the way, I've been thinking about doing a bit of a reaction to Dave Hollis and Heidi, oh God, now I can't remember her name. That whole shit show. Because I do follow Key as well. And Kia and Cam and Heidi Powell, that's it. And you know what? They are scammy. So I think it'd suit. Anyway, I would like more transparency of whether these people are actually distributors or not, because that absolutely makes a difference in how we should take their information. But when you make a statement saying that it's the most clinically effective weight loss product ever, or out there, I'm going to question everything you say now, because that is just without a doubt provably wrong, because there are other ways that are more effective to lose weight and keep weight off. And that's mainly losing it slowly, 1 to 2 pounds a week, and not going overboard. So still hate the company. Leave our pets alone. Let little kids, let children not be self-conscious about being fat by forcing them onto a weight loss drug. Okay? You need to do other things before you just reach for the fucking Zenith. It makes me so mad because they're trying to. There's so much to childhood obesity, especially mentally, okay? And socioeconomically as well, because so often poverty goes hand in hand with obesity. Because for one, they eat shit food because it's cheaper. And for another, they are in food deserts. And it's basically you just eat what you can. So there's so much that has to do with ego, and that it's just it's like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. You're just never going to get across it. And it's so sad, because at the bottom of that, there's a kid who feels like shit because they're being told that how they look is wrong and we need to change you so quickly, what you're doing is terrible. You're fat. I can't. No, we have to put you on medication. So it just makes me sad. I would have been thinking to myself, I needed that drug as a 12-year-old, and I didn't. I was thin. Like, it's crazy to me that I ever felt that way about my body. And I think it's a sign of the times, we were very sort of, you'd put yourself down, self-deprecating, and I think that I just love how, millennials and Gen Z, they really celebrate each other. Like on Instagram, go, yes, queen, or yes, king, love your work. And I think that's fantastic. That is so good for our egos and self-esteem. I'm not saying to be arrogant, but you know what I mean. Okay, I'm gonna go. Frida's licking my arm. Don't know why. And she's sitting on the table pretty well now. She's like a little cat. Hey, you're like a little cat. Yeah. She's worked out how to get on the chair behind me like Minnie does now. Oh, except I was taping Dragula. I was perched on the side of the chair for so long that my sort of like I was tensed up and holding myself up almost in chair pose, and I'm like, Frida, you gotta go. I'm in too much pain. Maybe if I wasn't obese and took Zenith, I would be okay. But I don't care. Alright, I'm gonna go. I got some jelly in the fridge. Gotta have a shower. And I will see you tomorrow, probably. Have I got a video going up tonight? Oh no, it's supposed to be this one. So I'll try and put this one up. If you're watching it, well done. Okay, goodbye everybody. Oh no, we gotta sing the awkward song. It's the awkward song, yeah, yeah. Goodbye.